Good morning. If you're watching this video, congratulations on your purchase of the Puma 38 CFM 13 horsepower Honda compressor. I'm Joe, this is John. We're just gonna kind of go over some of the finer points, frequently asked questions. We offer this compressor with a 13 horse and this 38 CFM pump in either a 30-gallon tank or the 10-gallon tank. But we just wanted to go through what you're gonna find once you receive your compressor. You're gonna have 3 of these filters, and obviously they're plugged up where you install them. That just simply goes right here. There's a filter inside that is replaceable. We recommend replacing the whole canister and filter, okay? They come in a pack of 3. You can get them from Mr. Fence Tools. This is a electric start or manual start engine. We're going to go over that. It does not come with a battery, but there is a solenoid back here. Then we'll show you where to hook up a 12-volt 14-gauge wire and ground it to the engine, and you can start it with the key, okay? The engine takes 1.1 quarts of 10W30 small engine oil. The pump, being how it is a splash system lubrication, we use non-detergent 30 weight oil or compressor oil. That's essentially what compressor oil is. It has a sight glass, just fill it up to the center. We do recommend that you change the oil in the motor and the pump as a break-in period of 15 to 20 hours. After it's had a break-in period, maybe once every 50 hours. Some frequently asked questions and concerns that people have had with the compressor. You notice these copper lines on here. The reason we like the Puma is all other compressors use this, what we call a pilot valve. And on most compressors, all it does is regulate your throttle position, whether it advances or decreases the throttle, okay? On the Puma, what it does is whenever it decreases that throttle, it pressurizes this system right here, and it takes the head pressure off of these heads. That does 2 things. Number 1, it uses much less fuel, and secondly, it cools these compressor heads down whenever it is at idle. I've pre-loosened some of these up, and I wanted to show you how this works, because if you ever get a compressor after a year or so that is not pumping air on one cylinder, what you'll find is this canister, when it is at idle, you should be feeling air blow out of this canister, okay? When it is at running RPM and pumping air, you should feel this sucking air, okay? If the compressor is not on any one of the cylinders, we're going to assume that it's on this one today. Again, this won't happen but after a year or 2. But if any of these cylinders quits pumping air like you think it's supposed to, here's what you're going to be looking for. Okay, when that pilot valve charges this with air, these copper lines at an idle, it's going to be pushing this little piston in and out, okay? What that piston does is it actuates a valve here. Very simple to get to. When this is charged with air, that cup is pushing down on this valve, which then trips a valve in here to direct the air out the other way of the air filter and out. So it takes the head pressure away, okay? It's real simple to take that off and make sure that that spring is good and taut. And the biggest issue is that after a year or so, you're going to build up gunk and corrosion in here from water that's coming from the compressed air onto this cup. If you'll clean this up with some emery cloth, lubricate that O-ring a little bit, make sure that slides nice and freely, put that right back in, tighten it down, hook your lines back up, and you should be good to go. that also brings you to another point of it is important to drain these tanks. There's two valves underneath. It's important to drain those tanks of water, I would say daily, especially in high humidity areas.
In high humidity areas and also in real cold conditions, because you create a lot of heat here. And you know, we also offer at Mr. Fence Tools a glyco system for the winter time, just to keep your lines from frosting up and having trouble with ice.
I like to use premium fuel in these small engines also. But we offer all the replacement parts, filters for the carburetor, filters for the pump, belts, guards, you know, you name it.
Yeah, and when back to the gas, touching on that again, really just non-ethanol. As long as you're using non-ethanol, you should be good, but of course 90 octane has no ethanol in it.
Again, this is the exact same motor and pump that you'll see in this grate. This is the same 13 horse 38 CFM pump. It's just simply mounted on a 30-gallon tank. Now, the difference is this 10-gallon is what we call portable. It's got two wheels, obviously, as you can see, and handles that'll slip in here, and you can roll this thing from pickup to pickup. The 30-gallon, we would recommend mounting it. If you have a set system to where your compressor is mounted, you might want to consider the 30-gallon tank. Some of the pros and cons, obviously this compressor is portable and you can move it from truck to truck or job site to job site very easily. This is more of a mounted tank. One of the pros of the 30-gallon tank is simply volume of air. If you may find that if you, when you're running our Patriot that we're going to talk about here directly, that you tend to run out of air because of the tank space in the tin a little more quickly. We might even recommend that you have an auxiliary tank on the 10-gallon, you know, just to hose this into, say, a 20 or a 30-gallon tank and then come off of this valve with the hose to your driver. Again, if you go at the 30, you wouldn't have to do that, but there are some limitations to that as it has to be mounted on a truck because it would be a top-heavy type compressor, and it will tip over in the back of a pickup. The reason we've gone with this Puma is what I love about it is heat is the only killer of a compressor pump. And when you take the head pressure away from these cylinders, it keeps it that much cooler. And the longevity of these things is far superior to any of the other compressors out there. That's my main positive and why I like these compressors. Also, I don't want to steal yours, but this is the largest CFM output portable compressor you can own. They don't make a bigger one. Yeah. Nobody does.
And just to kind of stair step off of that, you know, the CFM's is really impressive. My favorite thing about these units would have to be the maintenance. They're pretty low maintenance, and really if you have to get into them and do anything, it's relatively simple and user friendly. Most of the time me or Joe can walk somebody through some steps to get your compressor going if you have to. So that makes it very nice from a mechanic standpoint and just reliability on the out in the field.
And now let's talk about the absolute best post driver on the market today. Handheld, far superior in almost every way. This is obviously our Patriot, and this is what's going to come with your Patriot. What we have is a 2 3/8 cap. We have the 2 3/8 sleeve that is appropriate. This cap is also designed to drive the eye post and the angle posts. Okay, you're going to get your retaining nut.
And then as well, one thing, we do have swivel fitting on here for easy access. This unit is a very steadfast unit. We have had many units here at Mr. Fence, and the maintenance department, we've ran through them all. So this one by far the most reliable. We use this daily, all of our guys at Mr. Fence.
How often do you work on them?
Very rarely. As long as the guys keep WD-40 in them, and that's really it. And they don't really throw them around, but we've got guys that bang on these pretty hard, and they tend to just take a lick and keep going.
Well, the WD-40 leads me into just exactly this. This is obviously a well-used bull, and I'm not going to disassemble this Patriot, but I have disassembled this older bull. Still in operation today, still works fine, okay? But as you can see with all the parts, how they would interchange with it all being put together. You got your clamp, you got your muffler, you got your decorative sleeve that goes on the outside, you got your retaining nut, you have your striker and your frame, okay? The first thing I'm going to tell you is that it does take some special tools to get this thing apart. We do not recommend you get in this deep of your tool, especially if you've had it for less than a year, as it will void the warranty. But I do want to show you the guts of the tool, the internals of the tool, basically to explain why we use WD-40 instead of any lubricant, okay? Again, this is our distribution valve. It's got 2 dowel pins, a blank spot where you match it up. We'll show you that in great detail. This consists of 3 pieces, okay? It's got a cap, it's got an inner sleeve, it's got an outer sleeve. If this inner sleeve slips in that outer sleeve nicely and you put this cap on it, you should be able to hear it clicking back and forth very distinctly. If that is clicking, put it away. There's no problem with it whatsoever. The second 2 parts of the driver are a cylinder and a piston, a 2-stage piston. This outer cylinder is married to this piston, okay? You cannot interchange these parts. The tolerance of this piston to this cylinder will actually hold water. I mean, it is that precise. It builds up compression. If that piston is traveling top to bottom without any obstructions and will fall out in your hand, there's no problem with this piston and cylinder as well. You put this back together, it'll work great. The reason we've disassembled this is John mentioned WD-40. This post driver does not need lubrication, okay? The only thing we require on this driver is WD-40, and the WD-40 is for no other reason but for dispelling moisture, okay? We like the moisture moving through the tool as you're using it. We cannot let you keep moisture in this tool for an extended period of time, okay? You give it a little shot, a half a second shot. It does not take much of WD-40 in the morning. You start using your tool every 2 to 3 hours. Disconnect the hose, give it a little shot, and if you forget to do every bit of that, it is imperative that before you put it away for the night, on the last post of the day, squeeze the trigger, give it a little shot of WD-40 and bump it one time, blow some air through that system, put it away. It's completely maintained.
Just back to the reliability, we've only had, I think we have 6 or 8 of these drivers, and we've had one that we had to replace an anvil in.
The striker here?
Yep, the striker. That's really the only problems we've had. We've had a little bit of trouble when guys don't use the WD-40. These will get kind of sticky, and they got to be sent in to us and for us to kind of hone them out and clean them up. But that's really about it. As long as you can keep the WD-40 in them, they'll keep going.
Yeah, this is mine. This one's 15 years old, still operating like it was at day one. And as Sean would say, I'd go to war with it any day. A frequently asked question that we get is, what is the difference between the Patriot and the Bull? Basically, it is the weight. This Patriot is about 27% more powerful there, just simply because of the weight of the internal piston and the bore of these hammers, okay? As we stated before, these strikers, this is the actual wear item of the tool. This fits right here along with the retaining nut. And this component, the striker, will break before you do any damage to the internals of the driver itself. I mean, I think we've broken, I don't know, 2 in 2 years. But it is designed to be replaced. Same with this striker. Again, this striker is for the Patriot. You cannot put a Patriot striker in a bull cylinder, and you will also have to have a larger retaining nut. These are different, and they're color-coded painted to show them different. Now these drive caps, the plugs and sleeves, whether they be for Postmaster, angle iron, 2 7/8 pipe, all the way up to 4-inch pipe, they are interchangeable between the Bull and the Patriot. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope this has been informative for you.
Yeah, and if you guys need anything, you can always check out MrFenceTools.com. Look at all of our website, everything we offer. Mr. Fence Maintenance does offer repairs on gas drivers, and we also help troubleshoot anything that's wrong with compressors and startups. So if you need anything, just reach out and give us a call.